How's it going, everyone? And welcome back, as always, to Continues to Tick. So first things first, I hope you guys are all doing well. I really feel as though I haven't said that in a while, as we continue to navigate our 2022. As for the incoming news, I guess I can officially say I'm a grad student. I started school this past Monday and not fully overwhelmed quite yet, but I like to use the word manageable for my course load so far. And honestly, I never thought I'd be saying any of this, but here I am, a student, once again. And here we are, now finishing off the first week of February 2022. And yes, February just started, but it appears as though by this time next week, we'll be at mid-month, which actually means that soon enough, we'll also be much closer to the month of March than the beginning of February. And I actually can't wait, as my first scheduled week off this year is in the beginning of March. And side note, I'll be in one of my favorite places, Joshua Tree. Have you been there? If not, I fully recommend. But as my weekly reminder goes, all of that are examples of time passing, but I want it to be known. I don't say it in a way to scare us. I know I try to push the narrative that it goes by quickly, but I say it in a way with good intentions, in a way to be mindful of how it passes, to toss out that reminder, to just use it wisely, and also be mindful of how it actually makes us feel to watch it go by, and to periodically recognize it and ask yourself, is it working in your favor at this moment? Why or why not? Or are you feeling behind on it? You see, to be behind on time and make up for it later, it's not a fun place to be. And trust me, although stressful, regardless it seems, there are ways to combat this stress from getting the better of us in the first place. And although it's easier said than done, the best way to do this is to simply not be scared to look at the future and do set those future-oriented goals. Plan your life. Do so 1 year ahead, 5 years ahead. Go for 10 if you can. Maybe even push yourself. Think about 20. And hopefully you may be retired by then. But don't be afraid to do so. Although I will say, although certainly anything can change between that time and now, and the likely chances that it will, and so may your goals, that's okay. As oftentimes these changes come in waves. They come with the experience of life, and beneficial tweaks are likely going to be made along the way, which is totally fine. All in all, what I'm trying to say here, as it relates to time, is don't be scared of it. It's totally okay to allow it to pass. Just don't be wasteful. And now relating this to a dividend investor, well, time is of course your ally, your friend. You want it to pass, and you've heard this many times. If only it actually felt that way in life all the time, right? I mean, my biggest issue with time passing in general life is that it leads to aging. And well, aging may also be your friend, at least until it isn't. Aging is really only fun temporarily. But given that time is an ally to a dividend investor, find your framework and remain patient within this. Stick to it, see it through. Although I've only been doing this for about 1.5 years, and it'll be 2 years come this July, I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. And I hope you can see we've actually come a long way so far to slowly building up this story of building a nest egg via dividend investing. A documentation of this game plan is unfolding in front of us all, including myself on this channel, for others to see and hopefully get inspired to do in their own way. There's many ways to play as a dividend investor, but one thing we all have in common is we all think of the future, because partly we have to, right? I mean, it kind of comes with the territory of investing in this fashion, doesn't it? And I would also add, we must also have a great deal of patience, or at the least have come to terms that we won't get rich overnight, and that part is actually okay. But I haven't stressed this enough on this channel, I feel, that patience is required for a dividend investor, just as much as time is. The journey of this strategy is slow, but the way I see it, it'll be worth it. I'm seeing it so far, and I guess if nothing else, this will all build discipline, and we can do so much with that trait. I mean, time is going to pass anyway, right? So this investing plan, in conjunction with life, to me is the perfect balance. That is, that as we get older, life tends to speed up on us, having less time and more issues, a challenge every day as we age to find that balance, putting energy into all the things we want to do and accomplish. We have to become selective at some point along this path, which is unfortunate. So having an investing strategy that feels slow, that I don't have to pay much attention to, at least for me, is rather welcoming in the fast-paced world of snagging the next and then the next and then the next bait. That is today. And don't let my weekly talks confuse us all. I'm already confused with my deep, light thoughts. I tend to think in images, so imagine trying to put that into words. Well, it's a challenge. But as for the mind cleanser this week, how about a picture of a giant backpack, just for the laughs, and in light of being a student once again, temporarily. And as for the portfolio, the dividend journey continues, despite what the markets decide. We do what we can, and our strategy remains the same. As here we are now, at least momentarily, crossing the 48K mark. And on our all-time chart here, we're currently at 34.19%, which equates to a total gain for the portfolio of $6,825.03. For market gain alone, we're at $5,815, and from earned dividends, as I mentioned in my, I think it was past week's video, we recently crossed the 1K mark of earned dividends, now at $1,009.57. And one thing about the earned dividends, it is tax season, so last year's taxes I just used TurboTax, and honestly it wasn't that bad. I'm hoping the same for this year, and I'll make sure to mention it in my videos and kind of keep you guys updated. And just to show you the last week's performance, it was a relatively flat week, so overall no complaints. We had a green return of 0.27%, which equates to $128.80, and I'll take it every time. Even if it's slightly in the red, that's fine. A somewhat flat week, to me, in my eyes, is a positive one. But just to show you here also, this is my last month's portfolio review. We're down 3.27%, which equates to a negative loss of $1,500, almost $1,600. And it's odd. The first week of 2022 was great in the markets, but it seems like ever since then, we've been on a decline, slowly trying to recover. So, I'm sure a lot of our portfolios out there have been taking a hit. Hopefully the ship will right itself out, and we'll again move upward. But in the meantime, while that happens, at least for us dividend investors, we'll continue to see our dividend payouts. And in speaking of dividend payouts, starting off on January 31st, getting paid by JP Morgan Chase, $6.87. Also on January 31st, getting paid by McGrath RentCorp, $3.10. Then here we are with the notorious AT&T, getting paid $13.92. I know the spin-off talks are here, so I know AT&T has a lot of attention right now. But as for me, I mean, nothing's gonna change. I'm gonna hold on to it. Also on February 1st, we have Verizon here, $7.52. And on the next day, February 2nd, with our $500 deposit, just like we always do, it's our game plan. And I hope you have a game plan as well. And here on the same day of February 2nd, with our funnel of these funds and a snowball of $35.87. And as you can see here on February 4th, last but not least, getting paid by General Dynamics Corp, $3.21. And so that's going to be it for this week's video. I hope this video can be a reminder that dividend investing, it takes time, it takes patience. And honestly, that can go with any form of investing. It can also apply to me going into grad school. Some things, once started, they just take time. You just have to remain patient. The patient part is hard. Also, watching time pass is difficult. But having the ability to shift your focus from the present to the future, it helps. And I'm sure for a lot of us, I know my weakness is shifting it the other way, from the future to the present. But I try to be mindful. I really do. But with that being said, I did start grad school. I'm hoping that nothing will change on this channel. I'm going to continue to push out a weekly video, which I really enjoy. This is my happy place after all. But if there are any bumps in the road along the way, you may notice them. But anyways, with that ramble out the way, we made it through 7 days. So we have a high chance of making it through another 7. And I'll see you then as always. And as always, take care.